What's up? This is Gardy with Clear Life Media, Clear Life Combat. I'm at the Clear Life HQ in League City, Texas. I got a guest here in studio. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. We're going to find out everything they have going on.
How's it going, guys? My name is Cristian Guzman. I represent Gracie Barra Texas.
Yes, sir. Hey, so this is your first time here,
Yeah.
but I know you spent a lot of time because you're under Professor Draculino.
Mhm.
Was it pretty easy to find our spot here?
Yeah, it's right on the road, 10
Yeah.
minutes away.
It's pretty close to Professor Draculino's, huh?
For sure. It's far from where I live, but 10 minutes from Drac. So
Yeah.
we made it work.
How do you like the new spot for GB Texas?
It's amazing. It's the best, well, the biggest school here, I think, right? And it's just, they have everything there, everything you need. They got Muay Thai, they got Jiu-Jitsu, they got MMA, they got no-gi, gi, they got it all.
I've talked to several people that train there, and I asked them, what's the main difference from the old facility to the new facility, and what's your favorite part? And they usually have the same answer. What's yours if you have
The
one?
mat space,
The mat
being
space.
able to do takedowns.
They said the showers.
The showers, the showers. Yeah, I mean, the showers it is a big deal, but I always go straight home and shower up if I have to. But it's convenient to have it for sure.
Yeah.
I go to West Chase; they've always had showers there as well.
Yeah. So you have something coming up really quick. It's this week. What is it and where is it? What's going on?
So we got the Fight Pass Invitational number 8. It is October the 10th, this Thursday. So make sure to tune in. It'll be on UFC Fight Pass. And my opponent is Pedro Falcao. He's a UFC vet. He's currently in the UFC. Nova União black belt. So we got us to scrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I remember correctly, and we did an interview through Zoom whenever you were in Las
My
Vegas.
first one.
Yeah, UFC Fight Pass Invitational 1,
Mm-hmm.
which you were the opening match. So the first jiu-jitsu bout to ever take place at the Apex. Is that all correct?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm the first athlete to ever step on that Fight Pass Invitational mat. And I mean, I'm truly thankful for that and grateful for sure.
Yeah, and seeing what it's grown into is really cool because they're already on the 8th. You've competed a couple times. What's that experience like?
It's like no other. It feels like you're about to fight in the UFC because you're in the back in the room where you see all the Hall of Famers, you see all the jerseys from the Ultimate Fighter, you see Marab sitting there, Aljamain Sterling, like it's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You thinking about doing that crossover, getting some MMA?
I've been thinking about it for a while, but due to injuries, it kind of holds me back. Like I'm like, yeah, you know what? I want to do MMA. I want to do MMA. I'm my jiu-jitsu is obviously really good, and then my body starts telling me like, maybe we shouldn't. But I don't know. It's still in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to.
Yeah. I remember talking one time, and I don't think this was on a podcast or on radio or recording,
Mm-hmm.
but you said one of the reasons that you even got into jiu-jitsu was because of pro wrestling
Mm-hmm.
or being a fan of pro wrestling,
for
and
sure.
that kind of led you
Pro
down this path.
wrestling, the Diaz Bros took me to. Well, I actually started doing MMA at first, and then I did MMA for maybe about a year or two. And no, actually, I did MMA for like a year at a small little gym my friend owned, and then that's when I went to Drax in 2009, and I've been there since.
Mm-hmm.
And I did MMA with Drac too. I spar the UFC guys, all the pro fighters. He could tell you that I could hold my own.
I would love to get Professor Draculino in here one day.
Me and him actually sparred before.
Oh yeah, how did that
He
go?
punched me hard as hell. Shout out to Drac.
Yeah, he's a legend, living legend, right down the street.
Legend, yeah. We're lucky to have somebody of his caliber in Houston, and he's been kind of carrying the city for the last 15 years or so.
Mm-hmm. And for you, I mean, you started training, and you said at 2009 with Professor Draculino. You were one of the first. I mean, really, kind of that first batch of students.
Yeah. So I'm one of the original students from GB Texas, where they're on El Dorado. I don't know if you know. It was kind of hood. They had the apartments across the street and bars on next door. So like to see Professor Draculino from where he started to where he's at now, it's super inspiring. You know, it's kind of like my journey. I started in a smoke shop, from a little shoe store inside of a smoke shop. Then we went to where we're at now. We had the small suite. We upgraded to the 2,500 square foot, and now hopefully Pearland is next. So
Yeah.
kind of seeing somebody like that kind of gives you some motivation, you know, especially him being an immigrant and being able to do all that here, it's dope.
Yeah, it's definitely inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Very inspiring. So the Fight Pass Invitational, I mean, you've had the chance to compete before. Usually, I think it's been up against like UFC fighters or MMA people.
Yeah.
What's it like for you? Are the rules the same sometimes? Are they different? Or what's it been like competing against these guys?
So the rules they've been the same except for the last one with Renato Moicano. They did a special rules match, which was whatever. It was fun. It was a fun match.
What was the difference?
No leg locks. They told me I couldn't touch his feet or just attack his legs at all.
Was there any hesitation, for that? Because, I mean, isn't that a big part of your game, right?
I wouldn't say it's a big part of it's kind of 50-50. I like to go upper, then go lower, and vice versa. I like a seesaw. I'll go leg, I go arm, I go leg, I go arm, I go neck. Like it makes it unpredictable. So with Moicano, like I told Drac, because Drac was pissed. He was like, "Man, what the hell? They why are they doing this? He's an MMA fighter. He should be able to defend a leg lock. He's getting punched. He does all this, like, which is true." And I'm like, "Look, it's not up to me. I don't make the rules. I just kind of abide. Like, this is what they tell me to do." And And he's like, "Yeah, but still, Christian, it's not fair for you or whatever." They're kind of making it favoring him, which obviously, right? And so overall, I was just happy to take the match. But in the match, like when he'll stand up in my guard, his legs were open, and I went if you look at the match, I went for it. Like I hooked the leg, and then you'll see me let go like 3 times, and that's because it kind of I remembered. Oh dang, they told me I can't go for the legs, and then it threw me off a little bit, but no excuses. I mean, he did better for sure. His cardio lasted longer. I think I was up in regulation, and then he ended up scoring in overtime. But shout out to Moicano. He's a super cool dude. Like super humble. Like he's real.
Yeah, he just fought, right?
He just fought a couple weeks ago, and he passed that guy's guard way faster than he passed mine. So look, that loss kind of aged well for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he still hits me up. He hits me up on Instagram. Yeah, we talked yesterday actually. So like we didn't become friends, but we're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even from Fight Pass 1, I mean, being out there in Las Vegas and competing against these guys, I mean, it's making like cool relationships or connections.
Oh yeah.
For you, right?
So for me, it obviously I want to win the fights or whatnot, but I always use this to network. Like I have my own business, so I get out there, I reconnect with fighters that I've met before, and just touching base again, and like talking to Dana White, talking to the VP of Fight Pass, Stephen Tecchi. Like it's just reconnecting what we had. So I'm always trying to figure out a way to network and connect with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was a couple years ago, I remember you talk about, talking to Dana White, because then you even got to run into him again. Yeah. And then we got to go out there. I guess he was staying at Tillman's hotel in one of his rooms.
He was staying at one of the fancy hotels.
Yeah, and you dropped him off a shoe. What did you give him?
So that day, me and Chemo from Cloud Custom, shout out to Cloud Custom, we made him a Howler Head Air Jordan 1. It was a custom 1 of 1. It was basically a Jordan 1, and he kind of just painted it all red with the Howler Head logos all over it. And y'all were there.
Yeah.
That experience was like unbelievable, right? Like that might it might happen again, but that doesn't usually happen. Like meeting Dana White, and then remember he gave us those tickets. Yeah.
Well, you like even just messaged him on Instagram.
Yeah. So
right.
Yeah. So Mick Maynard, actually one day I was with Eric Garcia. Shout out to Eric Garcia, Mick Maynard, Fury, the whole Fury guys. We're hanging out. I was dropping off some shoes to Eric, and he's with Mick. And I had already met him before, and we're just having drinks or whatever at the bar, and I was like, "Hey Mick, what size does Dana White wear?" I was over here Googling it, and it was wrong on Google, right? And I was already plotting that they're coming to Houston, so I'm like, "Hey, what size does Dana wear?" He's like, "Let me call him." He called Dana White and was like, "Hey Dana, I'm with my guy right here. It's Christian with Space City. They got a shoe store in Houston. He wants to know what shoe size you wear." And this was before Dana White was wearing all the Travis Scotts. He's like, he's a 9.5. I'm like, I'm a 9.5. That's all right, cool. I was like, tell him I got something coming from when next time I see him or something like that. And then sure enough, right away, I'm on my phone. Dana White follows back on Space City. I had already been following Dana, but I guess he sent them the link or something.
Yeah.
But Dana followed, and I was like, all right, that's dope. I guess that's step one, right? We're heading to the right direction. And I was like, all right, cool, dope. I screenshot it, sending to all my friends. Hey, look, Dana White followed. This is crazy. And what happened then? So a few months later, I noticed the UFC was coming. I think was it the John Jones versus Reyes?
Man, I can't remember which one.
Or was it Adesanya versus Whitaker?
I remember there was Fury the day before.
Yeah, there's
Fury was the day before, because I was at that event. Me and Kurt were, and we were just filming in the back, and there was a lot of good fights. I think even Diego Lopez fought that fight, and then it all happened so quickly, and then he got a call like, hey, can y'all come capture some of this? Dana White was like, we dropped everything.
Dropped everything.
On the way to the Galleria. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't remember which event it was, though.
I want to say it was Whitaker and did they fight here? Yeah, right.
I can't remember.
Adesanya.
It was a couple years ago.
And I'll have to double check. But yeah, so I noticed her coming, and the week of, I was like, I DM'd Dana. I was like, hey, I have some shoes for you. And I didn't know if he was gonna reply or not, and he's like, "Oh, like dope, awesome!" Like he literally sent me his location. He said, "This is where I'm staying at. Hit me up tomorrow." I was like, "All right." He's like Thursday or something. I was like, "All right, cool." So that's when I hit y'all up. I'm like, "Hey, let's do something." Like I wanted to make the get the most out of the opportunity, and yeah, so we pull up, y'all there, and we get Dana the shoes, and he blesses us with 4 tickets. So me and my brother, her girls ended up going, and shout out to Dana. You
know who else was there? And Garcia is his last name, but he just fought for Fury last night.
Jordan.
You know, he didn't fight for Fury. I just saw him put on a poster. Yeah, again, because he's going to be fighting on the 17th. Yeah, he's 3-0, and he's the lightweight champion.
Yeah.
I don't think he had made his debut yet at that point.
No, at that day, Jordan told Dana, he's like, "I'm gonna fight for you one day." Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
And I was just like, Jordan, like, you know how many times people say, because I've been knowing Jordan since he was 4 or 3 or 4. So like, he's almost like family to me. Like, he's my best friend's cousin. So like, I've been knowing him his whole life. And he's really good. Like, he'd always tell me, I want to do jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, yeah, bro, just go train. Like, and sure enough, dude's a savage.
Dude, he's training over there at Next Level with Jay.
Got a nice little
all them.
Yeah, Jay Crack and a couple with Tommy, right?
Yeah.
Aldretti.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's crazy how those things happen, but that, from networking and just getting those connections and all of it. Yeah.
You got to manifest it. Anything in life you put your mind to, you can achieve. And I truly believe that.
So going back to this Thursday, UFC Fight Pass Invitational 8, what do you see happening? How's it going to go? What's the ideal situation for you?
The ideal situation is I just get this guy in a guillotine off a takedown. But he's no white belt or he's no slouch. So I'm expecting a scrappy match. And I don't know, maybe we'll see a leg lock.
It's back on the table for this one?
It's back on the table. Yeah, he's like, hey, Christian, all rules this time. Like, we're not going to do that again. It was just a special match for him.
Yeah.
So, which is understand. I get it from their view because they were like, Dana White said no leg locks. I was just like, all right, whatever Dana says goes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah.
And so this week will be all rules legal. It's a shorter match too because last time it was 10 minutes, then a 5-minute OT. And that was brutal, especially like if you've seen the match, I'm defending the entire 10 minutes of him trying to pass, and I'm just like switching hips, staying in front of him. And for doing that for 10 minutes, it drained me. And so this one's going to be 8 minutes and then a 4-minute OT. Hopefully it don't go to overtime because who wants to work overtime?
Right. Get it done in regulation.
Yeah, man. And then you get the submission bonus. So I just had a kid, so I need that submission bonus.
Yeah. I mean, even pay-wise, they take care of y'all pretty okay?
Yeah, the pay, you're not going to get paid like that anywhere. Unless you're like some superstar. But if guys like me on the lower end, you're not getting... Even, they pay more than, I think, what MMA guys make, like, locally.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
A couple other fights on that card. I think the main event's Nicky Rod and Pixley, right?
Pixley, yeah.
How do you see that?
Pixley's a scrapper, but I think Nicky Rod can match that wrestling and has better jiu-jitsu. But you seen what he did to Marigali?
Yeah.
And he was spanking Marigali.
Yeah, and that surprised a lot of people. Obviously, that win against Marigali pretty much
catapulted him to that match.
Yeah, to be the main event against Nicky Rod, and so that'll be a big test.
Because before that, I mean, Pixley was known. I've always known of Pixley. I like watching his. He does like videos, breakdowns, and the darts and stuff. He's solid, but that win really put him on the next level.
Yeah, I mean, Nicky Rod's amazing.
And he's unstoppable at Fight Pass, isn't he?
Yeah,
he only lost to Gordon. Is that it? And then he had that nasty footlock.
Yeah, where he popped his ankle.
I like Nicky Rod. I like the way he carries himself. But both of the Rodriguez brothers, that's how brothers should be, right? Like that's like I love to see it.
And then another match I'm looking forward to. I think it's Dante Leon and Andy Varela.
Man, that's insane. Andy Varela is so unpredictable, and I feel like he could beat anybody on any given day. But I don't know, I gotta go with Dante.
You know, one thing I think it was the one that you were on as well, but Andy Varela went against Wagner Rocha's son.
Achilles.
Yes, Achilles Rocha.
He was winning the whole match.
He was, and then they ended up giving him stalling points just because of the way the rules were, and it was like, dude, I've never seen it. And I guess, it's the rules or whatever, the way they interpret it. I was like, Andy Varela is not someone to stall.
He wasn't stalling.
Right.
I don't think he was, but the rules, like Fight Pass Invitational, from my personal experience, I'm not going to say they favor the guard guy, but if you're playing top, you have to engage. You can't just kind of disengage or hold. Like with Moicano, they gave him multiple penalties from just being in my guard and holding me there. And I was trying to like do stuff, and he was just like holding, and that's when they gave him penalties. And I don't know, they put, you have to push the pace at least. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Andy was, but I was kind of busy, but I didn't really get to see his match that much. But when I seen he was winning, and then out of nowhere I was like, oh, he lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And have you ever had a chance to train with him?
No, I haven't. He's from Texas too. So.
Yeah, he's like from West Texas or El Paso or something like that. But I
always go for the Texas boys, but
sure.
Dante Leon, he submitted Mika. Like I was like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's kind of riding that wave.
Whenever you get to Las Vegas, I mean, down to the hotel or transportation, or kind of walk me through, I guess, what some of those past experiences have been like for you.
Man, they just treat you like you're like a UFC guy or something.
Yeah.
Like when you get to the hotel, all the fighters are there. You see everybody. They do. Usually they do media. They Uber you out or you drive to the UFC, the Apex, and they'll like do some pictures. They'll have you standing in front of like lights and like pose and like modeling and for their future content. And it really feels like you're about to fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
I've never fought in the UFC, but I can imagine that's how it feels,
Yeah. It'd be cool to talk to someone like Cody Steele, and I have interviewed him before.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah, but I know he's fought for Fury, and he has this Dana White Contender Series coming up.
There.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Again, Eric Garcia got me a ticket to Contender.
Sick, okay.
Yeah, so I'll be there to watch Cody Steele.
Yeah.
He's going to secure that contract.
I think so.
He's going to get that knockout.
Dude, what happened to him last time is crazy.
Man, that was crazy, right? And the guy that he was fighting was no slouch.
Right.
You seen what he did with Pereira?
So, I mean, I guess you can't, it's hard not to, I don't want to judge anybody because it was like, man, if you have a panic attack and all that stuff going on, but it's like you train your whole life for this.
It's part of you let those negative intrusive thoughts get into even as a jiu-jitsu guy, like I've never fought MMA, but when I'm doing jiu-jitsu, I can't think of negative things like, oh, my opponent's good at this. Oh, what if this happens? Oh, what if my car, or like any negative thought, I just block it. It's all positivity. And I've learned this through mindset training with Mindset Mike. Shout out to Mindset Mike. You just got to think positive. Like, doesn't matter. Like, you just got to be positive. Any intrusive thought that comes into your mind, you kind of just got to brush it off and stay focused on the task.
Yeah.
Because if not, those negative thoughts are going to follow you into the mat, into the ring, in the cage, and you're just mentally not going to be there, and you're gonna check out.
I've never talked to Mindset Mike before, but I follow him on social media, and there's a lot of helpful stuff. Curry actually, who's sitting on the other side of the camera, would make fun of me because I had a Post-it note that was on my bathroom mirror, and it was just some of these different things on there. And so every time I saw my phone, you know, I just read one and be like, what is this? That's dumb. That's dumb. And I'm like, not even competing for any, you know, training for anything, but just like, it's just good stuff.
No, it might be cliche or whatever, but man, he has some good stuff. And I took the mindset training course for a little bit.
Yeah.
When I was kind of struggling as a purple belt, I didn't really have that confidence and belief in myself. And we met at one of the grappling shows. I think it was Third Coast probably. And we kicked it off since. It hooked me up with Steve Devaney, which was one of the coaches, and it really helped a lot. Like you would think, like, you've been doing jiu-jitsu for all this time, like you don't need a mindset coach, but I mean, it helps. It helps.
Yeah. What about health-wise? Because I know in the past, everyone gets injuries, but how are you feeling right now? How are things going?
I actually took like 2 years off. Like I was going through some personal stuff. I lost my brother in 2021. And then after that, I kind of just went through like a depression. I got injured. That didn't help with the depression. I have 3 slip discs in my neck. One's ruptured. And I have slip disc in my back as well. So the injuries are still there, but I've learned to work around them. And I actually had some procedures done. I had PRPs where they take out your own blood and then they inject you with the plasma. It's kind of like a stem cell type of procedure.
Yeah.
And I can't afford stem cells. So if somebody wants to sponsor it, hey, please.
Yeah. Well, you'll see some of these like bio treatments. I see like Tom DeBlass, Gordon Ryan, they put all that stuff that it's like people swear by it.
It works. Yeah. So I had PRP is like the low level. Like it's like very small like a percentage like of stem cell. So just getting that like helped a lot. So I can just imagine if I got the actual stem cells, if I went to like Mexico or Colombia and got it done where everybody's going, like I'm sure it helps.
Yeah.
Cause like at first I couldn't even move my neck. I had like a pain every day where I couldn't train. Like my arm would go numb if I would like hit my head or like bump my head in a certain way. Like my whole left arm would go numb. It was bad. That's what made me like, doctor said, hey, you need to quit. Like, just don't train anymore. You can become paralyzed. Your health's not worth it. You're still good right now. But I don't know. I love jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So we don't always listen to the doctor, right?
Yeah, you take their advice. I think, you know, going back to Gordon, I think Gordon, I mean, obviously he's gone through his health stuff and, you know, people have opinions, but there was something he put up that a doctor told him like, hey, well, you shouldn't be doing this and this and this. And he's like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like, even whenever he's not training for something, I'm sure he's still training, you know, just not up to his level of like 3 times a day and weightlifting, you know, maybe as hard or whatever. But yeah. And I know we were talking about mental health, but I feel like mental health, whenever you don't train, that's whenever all those things, man, it's crazy, right?
It gets worse. Yeah. Drac would always tell me, he'd always reach out to me like, hey, when are you going to train again? When are you going to train? And I don't know. I couldn't get over it at first. And then it took me a while to come back. And now I'm full force back in.
Yeah. And I think people will find something. Sometimes it's like, I'm going to go lift weights or go running, jogging, swimming, basketball.
Just clear your mind somehow.
Anything. Yeah, you can find something. And jiu-jitsu is a big outlet for a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like having teammates like the ones we have, like they become your family. You've been training with these guys 10 years. Like you really get really close to these guys. And throughout jiu-jitsu, I found like the bestest of friends, like David Martinez, Jim, like Josh, like Enrique. Like I've found some really good dope people, and we've been friends ever since. Yeah, without jiu-jitsu, I probably would never met them. Yeah, I'd probably be working at a restaurant still, or not.
You never know. Yeah, that's cool. When it comes to jiu-jitsu, what kind of goals do you have, or where do you hope to take your career?
I just want these fun matches. Like not that I don't care to be a world champion, but I'm 33. I'm technically a master's, and I know I can hang with the young guys, and I feel like I can hang with the best guys as well. But right now, just taking it match by match, just having fun with it again. That's the main thing for me, just having fun again. Because it got to the point where it wasn't fun. Like I don't know, it was just like I said, that depression stuff. It just, I didn't want nothing to do with jiu-jitsu. So now I'm kind of like got the ball rolling again. When I got the other Fight Pass Invitational against Aaron Wilson, like I hadn't trained in 2 years. They just asked me if I wanted to do it. I was straight off the couch. I was like fat for me. I was like out of shape. And I'm the type of person, I can't say no to a match. If somebody offers me a match, I'm going to say 99% of the time, I'm going to say yes. So now I'm back to where I know I'm best at 155. And yeah, I'm ready to just take it match by match.
Yeah, that's cool. Is there a match that you would like, whether it's a UFC guy for some promotion? Is there somebody you would like to go against?
I would like to go against Sean O'Malley. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
He has like a wiry style of jiu-jitsu. He's competing. He submitted Takanori Gomi. Did you see that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's decent. Or if not, somebody with better jiu-jitsu would be like Chase Hooper. You know who Chase Hooper is?
Yeah, he has a fight coming up against Clay
Guida, yeah. Yeah, he's gonna destroy Guida, right?
Guida, yeah. But I've seen him compete.
He lost to Moicano, so we both lost to Moicano in grappling.
Yeah.
Moicano beat him at Fury grappling.
Okay, well, I was gonna say I saw him at Fury when he wore this. Are you talking about Chase Hooper or Clay Guida?
Chase.
Okay, because I saw Clay Guida compete before too, and he was
yeah. I like that. Would be a fun matchup too.
Yeah, both of those would be.
Yeah.
I like Chase Hooper.
Me too.
Yeah,
and his jiu-jitsu is super good. I
remember he was really young at the time, maybe the youngest before Raul Rosas got signed to the UFC. He was one of the younger.
He kind of had like a little rocky road, but he's looking damn good.
He changed weight classes or something.
He went to lightweight, and he's knocking fools out now.
Yeah, man, good for him.
Yeah,
seems like just a good person. I follow him on Instagram and stuff.
Same, he's funny, right?
Yeah, he is. He is funny. I know he did those interviews where he went up to Jorge Masvidal and asked him like, "Hey, why did you knock out my dad?" Talking about Ben Askren.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that.
It's like, oh, was that your dad? This was years
That's
ago.
Funny.
Chase Hooper, like, I mean, he was super.
Yeah, because they always say that's his son, right?
Yeah, because they're like, I don't know, just the way they look at their hair and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good, but man,
that's funny.
Man, we're just about out of time for this episode, but we're gonna have to get you back, get your brother, and I want to talk about Space City Collective and everything, of course.
For sure. So we'll be back. I'll bring my brothers. We'll touch on more Space City Collective from where we started and where we're at now.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Shout out to my sponsors real quick: Vatos Primos, Canix, James Hernandez Law Firm, and Space City Collective. And I also shout out to Tony Fan, chiropractic. He took care of me. He said I was all jacked up. I'm still sore from what he did, but he took care of me.
Awesome. Thank you for hanging out today. I appreciate
you guys having me.
Yeah, this is Gardy with Clear Life Media, Clear Life Combat. Y'all be blessed.